So, Homebrew Wednesday today is going to focus on production of Gozdawa Dark Ale. So, it's from Poland, but the directions came in German. So, as you can see here, I've gone ahead and translated those into English and put them out for ease of my use. One of the first things I had to do was take 100 milliliters of water, boil it, and I'm going to add yeast to it here shortly. It says to add the packet of yeast to it when it's at room temperature between 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit. What I did is I actually took a small ladle full of the wort that's going to go in there to give it something to feed on a little bit. As you can see here, this is a wort. This is 1 can of the extract that came with the kit, and also I put in 1 kilogram of honey in place of the sugar that they called for. I have to bring that to a boil for a few minutes. And so let's see. So the next thing is I'm going to go ahead and add the yeast to the water and a little bit of honey here to give it something to feed on for 30 minutes. I'm going to pause, be right back. I'm going to go ahead and put the yeast in here. This is at the temperature that it calls for. I've sanitized the package of yeast ahead of time. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and stir it in a little bit. If I can get the yeast out of my thermometer, I'll be good to go. Loosen my yeast that way. Okay. Note to self. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put a paper towel back over it. Alright, so we've cooled down the wort to about 80 degrees using some ice things and running the cold water in the sink. I've got my fermenter here. It's already been sanitized. So the next step is to go ahead and pour the wort into the sanitizer, bring it up to about 23 liters, and then I'll check the gravity. And then after that, I'll pour in the yeast, and then we'll take it down the cellar to a ferment. All right, so let's take this chilled wort, put it in the fermenter. This. And next, got to add water. See if this will work. Alright, so we're going to do this till we're at 23 liters, so I'm going to go ahead and pause until we're there. Okay, we've got about 5 gallons of wort here. I'm going to go ahead and take the hydrometer reading to see what our originating gravity is going to be. It stops bouncing around. Looks like we're at 1040. So the next thing is pitch my yeast and move it to the cellar. One other thing we can go ahead and try here. Yeah, it's got a little bit of licorice, a little caramel, it's a little sweet. So I hope that's an indication of what it's going to be when it finishes. Yeast has actually started to ferment the honey that I put in with the water here as a starter. So I'm going to go ahead and pitch the yeast in here. And next says to go ahead and stir it vigorously for 2 minutes. Stir it for 2 minutes. So next thing is to cap it. And I want to make sure my fermentation, so I'm going to carry this downstairs. I want to make sure I can actually seal this without having to worry about. Alright, takes care of that. And okay, so I'm going to carry this downstairs and we'll come back in about 24 hours, a little less than 24 hours to see the fermentation's going on. I promised to come down 24 hours later, so this is after 24 hours of pitching the yeast. As you can see, fermentation is ongoing. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish this Homebrew Wednesday video up. Thanks for joining. Cheers.